Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Keaty Broom here in beautiful Brisbane. It is a little bit cooler. I've got the heater on at my feet. You wouldn't believe it, but just to keep me and the dogs warm, the two dogs. Oh, the dogs are upstairs, actually. Didn't lock them away today. I normally do. But welcome along to our regular hangout. Now, hopefully I got the number right. Paul, is it 46 this week?
46,
I forgot.
yep.
46, okay, great. We've got Paul Weeks on the Gold Coast. And he's got a jumper on, so he's a little bit chilly, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. Yeah, it is a bit chilly down here on the Gold Coast, but beautiful day. It's absolutely 21 degree in the day in the sun. Down by the bay today, just walking along the beach. It was really, really nice. But it's cool at night.
Yeah, a little bit cooler, but a beautiful day in Brisbane today. I mowed the soccer field at my local club. And I've got a story to tell you about football or soccer. The World Cup's on, so that's why I've got a lot of bags under my eyes. I've been watching the games here at midnight and 4 a.m., so I'm not getting much sleep at the moment. But I want to tell you about when I have a chat with Claudia about my game on Saturday. Very, very important thing that happened. Welcome to everybody who's watching. I've already posted some links there about our live events here in Australia, and I want to talk about that as well. But it's a very big good morning to Claudia Eifert, our #1 affiliate, our presidential ambassador in lovely downtown, let me guess, Zurich. No, nope. Germany, somewhere. Where are you?
When you see this picture behind, then I'm in Germany. So.
All right, okay. So you're at home, yes?
Yes, I'm currently at home. So yeah, enjoying the summer days at home. Was yesterday out with the vice president daughter of the Spanish football organization, FIFA, or whatever it is. Yeah, so I had a good chat about football and life and things like that. And yes, they are disappointed, the Spanish as well, that they lost.
Yeah, they crashed out the Spanish. That's a bit of a shock, but there you go. There's been a lot of upsets. A lot of favourites have been knocked down, and everything's in life is a parallel. You can always make a parallel out of the World Cup that the favourites were expected to do well, and for whatever reason, they didn't perform well. And then in the online space, well, that's a good company. Been going for 6 to 9 months. All of a sudden, it folds and collapses. What's happened there? Something's happened. So life is football, football's life, and it's a lot of parallels along. So the 4 events I've posted in the chat there on the Saturday the 21st. So that's a week this Saturday is Melbourne. Then the following Tuesday we're in Sydney. The following Sunday the 29th we're in Brisbane. And then the following Tuesday we finish off on the Gold Coast on the 31st. They are 4 major days which people can come to our event not only to physically meet Bill and Claudia, but also for new people who are really struggling to understand what the generational wealth theme is all about. And what has gold and silver got to do with me, and what's cryptocurrency? How can that affect my life? And what's an ICO? What do those 3 letters mean? And how is it going to impact my income, my life, the way I do business, the way I use my phone? All of these things, we can provide that information. And that's why it's very, very important that you tell anyone that lives in those 4 locations or within 100 kilometres that they've just got to get to the events. There's no question about it, that they must get to these events to meet the owner of our company, Swiss Gold Global, because we are a very, very strong company. We're in a bit of a lull or a downturn with our cryptocurrency contracts at the moment. There's no question about that. And I've been closely listening to a few experts that have been following for the last 12 months about what's happening. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But these events are extremely important for the confidence of people that you know that want to join our business or want to join a business online that they can put some trust and energy into. Because whatever you're in, whether it's your own job, Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 or 8 to 6 or 7 to 7, or if you're on a salary or whatever you're on, you have to put effort into what you're doing. And if in some circumstances, if you don't put the effort into the job you're at, then they'll bring you into the office, Paul, on Friday afternoon and say, I'm afraid you didn't get those sales figures, Paul, that you promised you'd get at the last meeting that we had last week. And someone up above me has said, we've got to cut a few people loose. And unfortunately, we've put a number of names in a hat and your name, Paul, has come out. So if you'd like to clear your desk this afternoon, Paul, and good luck for you in the future. That's what's happening to a lot of people that I speak to. And I speak to quite a few people locally every day and ask them questions about their business because I want to find out what's going on. I spoke to a guy, this is very interesting, there's a bit of a side note before we carry on, that this guy I spoke to, what's the day, Monday, on Saturday, he's with Carnival Cruises, which is the biggest cruise liner in business in the world. They got 26 ships floating around the oceans at all time. They own P&O and they own, what's the other one? The other main one. Anyway, they own those. So I said to him, he's flying over to Berlin near you, Claudia, for the Flight Centre have an annual party to promote for all their major sponsors. So I said, do you know if you're going to be accepting Bitcoin on your cruise ships anytime soon? Just to throw out a question. And he said, well, not really at the moment. From what he can gather, there aren't enough big businesses involved in Bitcoin that would make them want to get involved as well. So I guess some businesses are waiting for another business to get started, and then they'll all jump on the bandwagon. So how long is that going to take? I asked him, and he said, well, you know, he knows about Bitcoin, he knows about the blockchain and the technology. He said at least be another 6 months or so before any sort of movement that he can see with some companies. Others are going now. Others are waiting for a little bit more defined area of how they can use Bitcoin and blockchain in their business. And these are massive businesses worth billions and billions of dollars. So it was interesting that he's in the cruise ship industry and they're not looking at Bitcoin right now, but they know all about it. And that's the main thing, that people now in business know all about blockchain and Bitcoin, but they just haven't taken that step. So that's, to me, is pretty exciting that they at least know about Bitcoin. They don't know anything about Bitcoin mining. Oh, what do you do, Keith? I'm a cloud miner. What's that? How do you do that? What do you have to do for that? So they still want to know the information about that. So that was interesting. So these events will help people that need this knowledge to be able to make an informed decision about earning passively part-time through our business. 10 years old, and we're still going strong. So that's the thing I want to say about those events. Just share those links. They're in most of the Facebook groups. Now, in the back office of the website, when you click in, there's the events are there. My back office shows the date, the day, the one after. But when you click on it, it goes to the Eventbrite event. It has a correct day. So Bill's just double checking on that for me. He's not available today. He's just in a meeting in Dubai, and it won't finish for another 30 minutes. So unfortunately, he can't jump on, but he sends his best wishes, and looking forward to meeting everybody in Australia very shortly. Claudia, have you started packing yet, Claudia?
Sorry, no, I have not started packing yet, but I guess soon. I mean, I'm a late one. I pack half hour before the flight, so.
All right. Well, it will be cold in Melbourne. Sydney may be a little bit cool, but by the time you get here late July in Brisbane and Gold Coast, Paul, it should be magnificent up there, yeah?
Why not? It's perfect one day, better than next, so yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic. All right, now, a couple of things to chat about. Quick question, if you do have any questions, folks, I'll just go to here. Has anyone got any questions? I just saw a message. I went on to the Genesis mining site. They've got Dash mining available, limited offer. Have you got any whispers on that, Claudia? Is that coming through to us shortly?
Yes, sure. This is going to come soon, the Dash offer, the Dash mining. So yeah, they're already working on the interfacing of basically interfacing Dash into Swiss Gold Global again. Yeah, that's going to come. Absolutely.
Okay, that's great. So that means we'll have Bitcoin and Dash available. So you can go, you can log in there. So I hope, as soon as it comes to our back office, obviously we'll let everyone know about what's going on there. That's fantastic. The Bitcoin Cash, is there any update on that? Someone was asking me the other day about Bitcoin Cash.
No, I haven't seen the update on the Bitcoin Cash as yet. I have seen the update on the new back office, the new back end. Was the other day, I think, on the call, like 6 hours, something like that, going through the whole new features of the new back office, which is going to come and looks really great. So there's a lot of development which went into that. So we are getting closer, that means.
Great. Awesome. That's great news. What about Ethereum? Any news from Genesis on Ethereum?
Not yet, but their plan is to, get again a lot of different hash powers released. I think they said something with another one coin. So no, I guess there will be lots of movement coming again in the next few months from Genesis side. So we will have different contracts available. But right now it's Dash. That's what we have, and then the other ones we don't know when.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Fantastic. Now the price of Bitcoin, I'll just quickly go there. I checked this morning. A little bit of a rally over the weekend. It got to 6,700 odd. 6,777 right now. So it seems to be stable between 6 and 7. And the difficulty rate coming up is going to go up just a little bit. From what we can tell on the calculator that you use. I've listened to a couple of people that have said the June, July is going to be quiet for Bitcoin, and sort of around this, it did drop to 5,800, 5,700. It's sort of gone up 1,000 now. But one particular guy's, he's very confident it'll climb between 15 to 20,000 by the end of this year. So that's only like 6 months. So I had a dream the other night that my birthday's on Wednesday. But once Wednesday hit, Bitcoin will start climbing. So fingers crossed that dream comes true. So a lot of people are predicting 15 to 20,000 in the next 5.5 months now. So if we start seeing a bit of movement in the price of Bitcoin, our payments for our contracts will obviously go up. What's your thoughts on the difficulty rate where it is now, Claudia? Is it going to hover, go up a little bit, go down a little bit? What's your feeling?
Again, like as I said in the last one, I believe it could come down a bit because of this, because of the simple fact that the equipment which had been ordered last year of November, beginning of this year, this all equipment was delivered and people now install their mining machines and so on. Lots of them realized it's not really profitable for the small miners at home. So I see, because in the beginning of the year when Bitcoin, of course, in February dropped down to below 6,000, in fact. So, of course, there was not so much demand for new rigs. That means, of course, if there wasn't basically that was going down, usually that should be, okay, there's not much more equipment or in relationship coming to work to basically to be mining. So therefore, and then of course we had this other thing which we said, there was this huge floods which I think put 20% out of the Bitcoin, something they said, like Vitalik Buterin in the other day, the Ethereum guy, he said 20% of the Bitcoin mining facilities in China, in Sichuan, actually lost basically their production 20%. So 20% production is lost there. So I could see it coming down a little bit in the next few times. Now, to your birthday, I don't think we will have the Bitcoin price up to 20,000 again. But hey, let's pray and let's hope. You never know. But I'm very bullish, of course, long term. But again, I don't think we are over yet the bear trend. There is still too much uncertainty in the markets. Now, there's a lot of more technology around developed. There's lots of things which are being silently developed around Bitcoin, but yet the overall market, like it was at the end of last year, is not yet. So when you talk to people now, have you heard about Bitcoin? Oh yeah, Bitcoin is down. When we talked end of 2017, to people said, oh yeah, what I don't really understand is Bitcoin. Oh yeah, I want to learn more. This is sort of the overall market perception but this is actually also good, because this wipes out all the people which, usually when we are near-term bubble scenarios. And of course, I believe it went up way too fast from 10,000 to 20,000 last year. I mean, absolutely crazy, too much, too fast. So it's I see it, because I'm also more conservative. I see it. It's better to go slowly up. But yeah, I mean, I'm very long bullish. So right now, well, we have to a little bit suffer that we don't get so much payments. But I believe they will recover eventually, and we will be all smiley faces again.
Smiley faces again, yes. I've certainly, obviously, everyone's noticed their payments gone down, but I think we're very close to the turnaround time. I've got that feeling. I've got that feeling in my bones, even though there may be very old bones at the moment. But just want to relay a story about Saturday that happened to me. It was quite amazing, actually, that it relates to the soccer game that I coach my team. They're a bunch of guys between 18 and 25-year-old. It's the first time I've coached them, actually. I've coached a couple of them before, but as a team, I haven't coached them as a unit before. We're currently sitting number one in the competition. We're top of the ladder. We're the team to beat. We came up against a team that I believe would be our main threat. And relay that to business, that we're in Swiss Gold Global, 10-year-old business, and we have a very well-structured business, very well run, and we're just in a little bit of a patch at the moment where our earnings are down and everything, and people are not quite sure. What happened to my team is the parallel. At half-time, we were 5-2 down, 5 goals to 2 down. We'd scored 2 goals, and this other team had scored 5 goals. And they were extremely confident that they could carry on and continue and beat us. So the halftime talk that I gave was that, listen, I believe in what you guys can achieve. I believe in your attitude. I believe in what the practice you've done. I believe in the way you go about playing the game. But it all comes down to the discipline you have within yourself and the amount of effort that you want to put in this second half, the next 45 minutes, that will determine what happens. If you do nothing or just carry on the same, well, we'll just be the same, and we might score 1 goal and they might score 2 or 3 or 4 more. And we're the number one team in the competition. So I said, if you're the number one team in any business and relate to business, you must stand up and put the shoulders back and get stuck in when times are a little bit tough and do a little bit extra than you would normally do. And that was my impassioned plea or target for the team. And the end result was a very, very positive one for us, because the end of the next 45 minutes, the end of the game, they had still only scored 5, but we had scored 7. We scored 5 goals in the second half and played out of our skin. Just the attitude and the energy in the boys for the next half of the game was sensational. And the amount of energy the boys got after that, and the very, very happy vibe afterwards. We're still number one. So in times of trouble or times of depression or times of going down with your business, you really got to dig in and do little bits of things extra. And I'd like to tap in again. We repeat a few things on our Hangouts, but I believe they're quite valuable for people to hear them, about how we can talk to new people about the business, that we can grow the business, even at this stage now when Bitcoin mining is not paying right. We can offer information to people. And that's what these live Hangouts will be, of so much value to people come along and listen of how gold and silver works against a fiat currency or your local paper currency. How does an ICO work? What's an ICO and how does that work? Or how does mining work? What does it actually do, and how can you gain any value from it or any earnings from it? So we need to share the information now about Swiss Gold Global and all the products we have and how it works, including the affiliate plan. That's one of the 5 things. So I personally, I'll go around the 3 of us. I do live Facebook Lives. I do posts to business groups on Facebook. I do the odd thing on Twitter and a little bit on Instagram, as well as going to 1 or 2 meetings with other business people. They get me quite a bit of response, and I also have an email program. I'm in a company that does your own websites. You can build your own websites, and you can set up your own email broadcast and campaign. I've been with that company for about 4 years now, and so I blast out emails to all the people that go through my landing page to a sales page and give me their email address. So that's basically what I do. I find that, and it varies on which one I'm doing at the moment or which one I'm finding best. So I move around different couple of things based on that. I haven't tried paid advertising as far as solo ads, where you pay a company like Udemy, where you pay $30, $40 and goes out to 3,000 or 7,000 people to do that. I haven't tried paid Facebook adverts either. A lot of people have had success out of that. So that's a couple of things I'm quite interested. If anyone's watching, there's a few people watching, what have you guys tried for advertising that you found it works good and well and gives you a few new people into your little business? Just post them in the chat group here. But I'll throw to Paul first off. What have you tried outside of what I've just said there? Have you tried anything that you've got a reasonable response for, that got people interested? You can give them some more information.
Well, I'm really just a word of mouth type person, Keith. I've also done letterbox drops, but more word of mouth is how I perform. On social media, you know, you're the guru on social media. You do all the video tutorials, and I send people to those tutorials to get some information. YouTube, I send them over to YouTube to have a look and see what's going on in the world. But now I'm more man to man and talk to people about the business.
How do you find letterbox drops? What sort of, do you drop 100 or 200 or 300 just in your local area so they're really close to you to connect?
Yeah, I'm a Gold Coast guy, Gold Coast situated. There's a lot of people live on the Gold Coast, so I thought I'd concentrate on that area and build from that area, that people want to know anything about Bitcoin mining or any of those type of things, that they will be in contact with myself. So yeah, it's a letterbox drop basically around this area on the Gold Coast. Do
you do it yourself, or do you?
I do. Yeah, my wife and I, we walk 20 kilometres a week, just dropping little flyers into letterboxes and go from there. Exactly the same way as real estate agents do it. They drop off 2,000 flyers every Thursday and Friday, so people get to see it on the weekend.
Oh wow! Some people use the post office service where they deliver flyers for you, like the postman does, but you have to pay.
Yeah, you got to pay. You pay about $200 to get a drop in a booklet that they expand, which that's delivered by the post office, that you're in a booklet, and that costs you about $200. It goes to about 10,000 people, or 10,000 homes, I should say.
All right. Well, that's interesting. All right. Great. All right, Claudia, any stuff that you do that we can sort of latch on to that we haven't really thought of?
Oh yeah, I mean, I do several things, of course. First of all, again, it's all as those listeners already listened, hopefully, to a few other lessons which we gave. So we have the list. So of course, you need, if you want to have a certain target. So if you want to have a certain goal in your business, in the affiliate business, and you want to make another 500, another 1,000, another 2,000, whatever. So you got to talk to so many people a day. So I have my list, of course, in my book, where I write down things, and I would every day on a daily basis, no question asked, no matter what, reach out to 10 people. So I reach out to 10 people. What I mean by reach out to 10 people? Well, I reach out to 10 people in order to get 2 people to communicate with me, to stay in contact with me, to eventually, hopefully lead down to be open to see a business presentation. So for example, I go to, I connect with people who like Les Brown. I connect to people who like Bob Proctor. I connect to people who, like cryptocurrency. I connect with, so I search in groups and things on Facebook, and then I go and see at their profiles. And then I basically see their this is online, part of what I do offline. And this takes me roughly like half hour a day, something like that. And so then I see, okay, so what kind of profiles is on their personal wall, and then I start maybe liking a post. But I note that down that person X, whatever, is in likes Les Brown. She had this, so I actually write it down, and then I start liking their post, and then so that person sees I'm starting liking their post, obviously, and so there may be a few days later I have it on my calendar, and then I look at I are actively looking at those people, and then I maybe send a message, hey, really liked what you post there, what are you doing, basically, things just like getting in contact with those people. And then I built this relationship with those people, which goes over a few weeks, obviously, to build a relationship. And so what I want is that they eventually ask me, so what do you do? And so I want to find out about them, liking, getting the relation, and so on, connecting, sharing maybe some goodies, sharing some good information, and so that eventually they are curious enough to ask what I do. So this is actually what I do on a daily basis, and I have it, and it's on my list, and I have to follow up with all those people, which is, of course, very simple. And yeah, I do that. And then I, of course, I currently just registered actually for a wealth building cruise where I'm going to go woman only, so there's no man allowed. So sorry for that, Kitty, but I go also to seminars. I go where I meet people. In fact, I think my friend Elizabeth McCormick, she was a fighter pilot. She flew to when unfortunately they invaded, they said they helped, but this is another discussion. When the Yugoslavian war was here in Europe, she was one of the fighter pilots, and she wrote a book, and she wrote a few books. She's a personal development speaker. She some years ago taught me that principle. She said, Claudia, when I started my network marketing career, what I did is I would go and look where are meetings about real estate people, meetings about whatever, everything like business or personal development. And she would go to those meetings. She would go between 3 to 5 meetings a week in the evenings. It's always evenings. Why? Because she wanted to collect business cards, so that she collected enough business cards, enough contacts, that she then could go through all of them and contact all of these people if they were open, if they are interested in looking into an extra income. So that's how she did it, and she was, like, in a very few months, the top income earner in her company. Now her company shut down. Unfortunately, it was a company where they sold like stuff like gadgets and things like that. But she became the top income earner in that and very successful. So this is she had wrote a book about it as well, about how to get leads. So I do things like that. Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. Well, there's some great little tips there about, and a few people reacted in the chat about you chatting to 10 people a day. Team Big says coffee meetings, which is good. Team Zoom calls, getting people on a Zoom call by making contact. Get to invite a guest as well. That's a very good idea. Going to Forex event wearing his Bitcoin T-shirt. It's a very good idea. Get yourself a couple of Bitcoin T-shirts. You get those on eBay for about what, $20, Paul? How much did your one cost? Your T-shirt?
The one that I presented to Keithy nearly 12 months ago, I think it was about $18.75 US.
$18. I've still got it. It's a little bit out of shape because I've lost a bit of weight, which is a good thing. But yeah, they're well worth wearing a Bitcoin T-shirt. Now, the other thing I did a social experiment about 4 or 5 months ago. I rented a stall at a local market, which is on a Saturday morning in my local area. It cost me, what did it cost me? $25 for a stall, which is just nothing. So all I did was take a little table and this banner and stood there with some flyers. And all I did was, as people walked past, it was about 4,000 at this event, markets. I was right across from the bloke who was selling tomatoes, fresh tomatoes from the country. I said, information on Bitcoin, get your information here, folks. Come over here, because everyone's calling out. Some guy's selling roasted nuts next to me, and the guy's selling tomatoes over there, and there's someone selling mangoes over there. They're all yelling out, $5 a kilo, $5 a kilo, $5 a kilo. So I'm there yelling out as well, Bitcoin, get your Bitcoin information over here, Bitcoin over here, BTC over here. It was quite funny. People were coming up, what are you doing here? I said, well, I'm just doing a social experiment to just see how many people actually understand or know about Bitcoin. Oh, and then probably 1 in 10 walking past went, yeah, Bitcoin, I got some Bitcoin. And they just kept walking. A couple of people going, how does that work? Give them a flyer and blah, blah, blah. So that was $25. I thought it was very well spent down at the local markets. Now, the other thing Team Big does, very interesting what he said here, is he does solo ads. If you're not quite sure what a solo ad is, just Google solo ads and you'll get an understanding. Facebook ads from his fan page. Now, he's set up a fan page and he does Facebook ads from that. Best thing on Facebook fan page is the Messenger, is these chat bots, well worth testing and combining with Facebook ads, not expensive to do actually. So there must be some chat bots that you can line up with your page so you can blast your message out to a number of people in a group or whatever. I'm not quite exactly how that works. So, but certainly it's called mini chat. Maybe if you just Google that, mini chat, MANY. So there's a couple of extra ideas about doing the online calls. There's now, the other thing I find is once you have that connection, I use a free tool called Team Viewer, which is a remote access, which allows you to access your teammate's computer from your computer, wherever you are in the world. As long as they have to download the program themselves, it's free. Then they have to give you their registration number. They also have to give you a 4-digit PIN number every time. So you just can't log into their computer while they're asleep. But that allows you to move the mouse around and help people. Where's my, how do I buy contracts? And we'll do a little TeamViewer call and go click, 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 click. There you go. In 2 minutes, you can show people on their own computer actually how to buy a contract very quickly rather than getting confused. And once you do it 2 or 3 times buying a contract, you can do it in your sleep. You can buy one and pay with Bitcoin in about a minute and a half. It's very quick, but new people starting need to be guided through. Now, the other thing, Claudia, those maybe you might be on some.
I couldn't hear you. You dropped out. You dropped out.
Yeah. The other thing was your training videos that you were talking about the other week. That'll also help people with those links. They'll be able to send those training video links to people. Well, they'll be on the channel, won't they? The Swiss Gold Global YouTube channel.
Yeah, I've just wished my designer would work a little bit further, but you know how they are. Yeah. Anyhow, that's just the way it is. So I wish she would work a little bit faster, but this is IT. They're always a little bit delayed. So.
All right. Well, that's a number of things that you can help with the business. So the overall message I want to get through there is that, you know, I'm relating it to my soccer team. We're down and out at half time, 5-2 down, but we just needed to recalibrate our thinking together as a group to realise that we do have the talent, we do have the expertise, we do have the get up and go, we do have the fitness and the determination. We certainly have the determination, but you need a number of people around you focused on that same thing to provide some energy for you when you do get a little bit down in the dumps about what's going on around you. You need to just come on, let's get going again. And that second half, if you just put the effort in for that first 10 or 15 minutes of the second half in a footballing language, you can create so many opportunities and get back on top of the opposition and come through and win, which we did 7-5. The most tightly fought game I've ever had as a coach in the last few years. It was my heart was racing like you wouldn't believe. I had to pour water over my head out of the water bottle to calm myself down. But it was really, really exciting, and it was a great finish. And I believe with Swiss Gold Global, my business has dropped off a little bit in the earnings, but I don't think I've even reached anywhere near halfway yet. Half time hasn't even, the ref's not even blown the whistle for half time. The World Cup's on at the moment. I'm watching all these teams. Some of them are trying flat out, and then some of them are just half think they've got the game won, when you've got to go really full on in a competition, in a tournament. And we're in a tournament ourselves, every one of us. It's called life. We're in the life tournament. If you don't put 100% effort and energy in every day, you'll never get to where you want to go in the time frame that you want to get there. If you put half effort in, it'll take you double the amount of time. Claudia speaks to 10 people every day. Every day, 10 people. Now, if you just look at your phone and how many people you message yourself, it's probably, for me, it's not 10. It's probably half that, 5 that I'm chatting to, or people asking questions. So I need to up my game as well to get up to that level. And like you said, you speak to 2 and maybe 2 or 3 will create a conversation. Comes back to our ratio of when we're knocking on doors selling cookware. Talk to 10, get 3 appointments. So reach out to 10 people, and you can do that. There's a billion people on Facebook, so there's no shortage of people out there. So,
and Kitty, not only Facebook. I mean, I'm doing a lot on. I just mentioned. Sorry, I apologize to say just Facebook. I actually mean also on Instagram. I talk to a lot of people on Instagram. Funny thing is, lately I talk to more people on Instagram, and then I talk on Facebook. So yeah.
But you do. I've noticed your Instagram photos are like a selfie shot, where you're somewhere different. You just, wherever you happen to be, bang, you take a photo. Like you've had a couple of nice castles in the background, and then you put the hashtags, 4 or 5 hashtags underneath, and that creates, oh, where's Claudia today? And then someone says, oh, it's a beautiful looking building there, or that's a nice river, or that's a nice cafe where you are. So that's a really good, because it brands you as a person, but gives them something to connect with you about, oh, whereabouts are you standing there? And then they ask a question. So, you know, we've all got a movie studio in our hand, right? This thing here, it's a movie studio. We can take movies, we can take high definition photos. And if you just use Instagram and put hashtag work with Keithy, hashtag Swiss Gold Global, hashtag Bitcoin mining, hashtag earn passively part-time, hashtag I love dogs, you know, all types of things. Does everyone understand what a hashtag does, Claudia, do you think?
I'm not sure if they do understand that, but maybe you want to explain it.
Well, how I understand hashtags is that it's just like a website address is the easiest way to describe it. So if I do hashtag Keithy Broom, then someone goes into the internet or goes onto Facebook and types in hashtag Keithy Broom. All posts that anyone's done with hashtag Keithy Broom will come up in the feed, and they'll be able to see everything I've done with that hashtag. So it's like my own address, website address as a hashtag. So you can do that with Twitter. It'll bring up all your posts. But then you do also hashtag Bitcoin mining. And if you've got Bitcoin mining hashtag in your post, you'll come up in that feed as well. People are searching. So it's like a mini website for you to people to find you. Is that, how would you describe it?
Yeah, I mean, basically, a hashtag is a label, of course, for content, and of course, it helps people or other people who are interested in a certain topic quickly find the content of the same topic. So if people looking for Bitcoin, if they're looking for Bitcoin mining, if they're looking for success, if they're looking for wealth creation, if they're looking for gold, silver, if they're looking for passive income. So if you hashtag all days, then all the people who are interested in these categories, they will see it. So that's why I always put something with Bitcoin in, and all the time I'm getting new followers who are interested in the subject of Bitcoin. And then some of those followers, they send me a message, or I send automatically a message when somebody follows me. Hey, thank you for the following, and great to connect. So and basically, and so therefore I get a lot of things, people asking me, and just try to stay connected. And again, for me, I don't just like, because some people, they say, thanks for the follow, here's my link, because there are a lot of people doing that. I don't do that. I want to get connected with people, but works very well. And of course, I have been a little bit lazy in terms of I should do more videos on Instagram. I do some videos, and the videos, of course, again, work way better. Now, but for you guys, Paul, and of course you, Keithy, and all your team in Australia, you actually have absolutely zero idea in terms of what you could do, because otherwise, because this people in Europe, I tell you that from my experience, and especially Germany, Switzerland, Sweden, Denmark, Holland, Belgium, they love Australia. They just love down under. For them, this is like paradise. That's it. This is the Australia is the place of all places in the world to go. Everybody dreams to be one day living in Australia. So if you could just really harness that power and really make those, you have a beautiful, just go to the beach, do a little video there. Hey, another day on Great Surfers Paradise or whatever, and tag Surfers Paradise and do Bitcoin. This is what people, they just love it, because here in Europe, because everybody wants to live there, but they can't.
That's a very, very good tip there, Claudia. You wrote that down, Paul, I hope, because you live right next to the beach. I live near a river, but I do the odd video in my local park with the dogs and everything. But I am out and about. I did a Facebook Live right next to the Brisbane River the other day. That got quite a few views. But what I didn't do is add the hashtags in as often as I should do, because you can do a video, post it, and then go back, and when you get home or whatever, if you're on your phone, just go in and add your hashtags. Or if you're at home and you've got a saved little file with about 20 hashtags, you just copy those, bang, put them on when you get home at night. Team Biggs this person has got some great ideas. Go to all-hashtag.com and use this to find the top hashtags or the best live hashtags. There's a website called allhashtag.com, all-hashtag.com. And Instagram, make sure you have a tour website in your profile, or have your website in your profile. Yeah. And as Claudia says, chat, connect via messages. Yeah, I've got my website, and that works. So you just pick up followers as you go along, but those hashtags are very, very important. So I think if they're not quite sure what Instagram is, where do you go? You go to YouTube, type in easy explanation or Instagram, please explain. And you'll just get a couple of people doing videos of how to use it, how to be more efficient on it. So if you can adapt to, because you've got this on your phone, you got Twitter, you got YouTube, you got Instagram and Facebook, all on this little bit of plastic and metal. And this is your business in a box right here. So there's so many things that we could be doing that are quite easy to do on a phone that not everyone does, that could enhance and grow your business for you right now. Tomorrow the 10th of July 2018 could change things for a lot of people if they just did one or two extra things. And you don't have to go straight to 10 people a day like Claudia. Go to 2 people a day straight away tomorrow, and then build on that, build on that, build on that. So what do you got? You got something to share with us, Claudia, have you? Oh, here we go. That's the all hashtags. There you go. All hashtag. What are you searching for? You just type in there. Well done, Claudia. So that's that website. You can all see that, all hashtags. Thank you, Claudia, for that. Hey, folks, it's 50 minutes. We've talked long enough. Is there anything you want to finish off on, Claudia, before we go?
Or you can also join me on this cruise. I'm going to go to this cruise here. It's going to be in October, where Women on Top. Basically, it's an all women only cruise. It's a women networking cruise, women in business, a few thousand people on board. So if you're a woman, why not treat yourself with a beautiful 8-day holidays. It starts in Fort Lauderdale, and get to meet people, to see it as a holiday. So I place also my holidays around business, meaning basically it's just a good way to meet more people, to connect with more people, and mainly connect with people who are already looking. I'm going for people who are already looking, who are hungry, who are in the looking zone. And those are the people I want to attract. I don't want to attract the people where I have to do all the hard work, all the things, all this that eventually they see it. No, I want to go to people who already have some sort of a spirit of not being happy where they are at and of wanting to improve.
You've got to look for people like yourself, basically. You just got to think, well, what am I not happy with? What situation am I in that I want to change? And all the things that you think about, you write the top 10 things down. That's the sort of person you got to go for. That's where you want to meet people like you. People are saying, get up and go. People have had enough. People don't want to work for anyone. People have been told to do this, that, and the other their whole life by the company or the boss or the job they've had to keep because that's the only job they can get at the particular time. There's that many people out. There's millions of people out there who just so much energy ready. They just need to be pointed in that right direction, and they haven't found the right opportunity yet, and they haven't found you yet. And that's it. You just got to search for people like yourself with the same goals and determination. You get people who are, it's the old saying, like-minded, or people the same as you around in a group. And just having like 50 of yourself. Imagine having a group of 50 people, 50 of you in a group. Unbelievable, unstoppable. So that's what we've got to aim for. Paul, finishing off, what do you got? Anything you want to add, mate?
Yeah, just saw a note came across from our Prime Minister, Malcolm Turnbull, is got a ticket for our #1 woman, Pauline Hanson, to go on the cruise.
Is that a wind up, is it, mate? Or he's paying her to go on the cruise? Is that right?
That's right. I think that'd be a good thing for her to go on. She can meet plenty of people there. Yeah, you'll enjoy her, Claudia.
Yeah.
What to finish up on now? We've got the 31st of July coming up. We do have the Sunday, the 29th of July coming up, and we just want to try now, between now and then, get a lot of people to those both events. Here in Queensland. What you do in Melbourne and Sydney, I hope I've told a number of my people to get along. So let's hope it's a very big success.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Lots of positive things to happen for anyone watching. Just put one foot in front of the other and don't give up. Just be super determined that you can build generational wealth. And that's why we're here as a bit of a family, a big, massive family worldwide. And all these tips we got tonight from Team Big Digital Freedom. Thanks for chipping in and giving us your insight. It's awesome. And that's what it's all about, working in an organisation like Swiss Gold Global. The successful people, and you just got to surround yourself with more of those. Are they out there? Absolutely. And they're super keen to find a company like us that they can get excited about. Thank you, Claudia. We'll see you next week, hopefully.
Yeah.
And then,
just a little add, sorry, Kitty, just a little add. And of course, also just keep in mind, I mean, okay, so right now we are in summer, everybody's enjoying, everybody's doing holiday and whatsoever. But what we have coming, the future trend of ICOs, of course, of the crypto, besides, of course, Bitcoin, which is the digital gold, the future trends of crypto is asset-backed tokens, and so that's what we're gonna have very, very soon. So I mean, you should be actually like non-stop going out there, getting out there, talking to people. This is what's going to come. So this is really exciting. And we will have that. It's just a few more months going by, and then we will have it, and we will be able to, of course, pre-launch and pre-launch and so on. And I mean, this will be really, really exciting journey, which we have ahead with Swiss Gold Global. So get people on, even though they may not yet understand much, but the future will be really bright.
Yeah. Gold-backed tokens, asset-backed tokens. That's huge for our industry. So great advice as always from Claudia. Get people to join you and use Instagram, use Twitter, use all these tools that are free and available. And everybody's got a phone, so there's no excuses. So get stuck into it. We'll see you next week. Thanks for watching, folks. Thanks for those great comments. And make sure you grab this link to this video and then post it on your timeline and then email it out to your group. Just say you've got to watch this. If you want some tips on how to grow a business, watch this video. It's only 45 minutes or 50 minutes long. Listen to our #1 affiliate and just get some tips from how she does her business that makes her successful and can make you successful as well. Have a fantastic, positive week, folks. And we'll see you on the next one. That's number 46. Done and dusted. See you next week. Bye-bye.